In this video, we're going to talk about improper fractions and mixed numbers, and you're going to find that when you're adding or subtracting fractions that you're going to sometimes get improper fractions in your answers, and we're going to turn to mixed numbers and vice versa. Let's look at this model right here. There's two different ways I can identify this model. I can look at and I see 1 hole, 2 holes, 3 holes, 4 holes, and then I see 1/2. So this right here is a mixed number. I have it mixed between a whole number and a fraction. I can also look at this and say, okay, all of these fraction circles are in halves, so that would be my denominator. And then I count how many pieces are shaded in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces. So I have 9 halves colored in. This is an improper fraction. We call it improper because the larger number is in the numerator when we're used to seeing the smaller number in the numerator. But you can have improper fractions. And when we have an answer on one of our problems that results in improper, we may have to change it into a mixed number. Let's look at how you do this. So we're going to learn how to change an improper fraction into a mixed number. What you can do is think about how many times does 2 go into 9. Well, I know that 2 times 4 is 8. So I would say that it goes in there 4 whole times. Well, 8 is not 9, so I have to look at that and say 9 minus 8, and I have 1 left over, so I have to report that as a fraction. So there was 1 left over out of the halves that I was looking at. Another way to remember this is something we call the ice cream cone method. So we take our improper fraction, we draw an ice cream cone, because you got that big old thing of ice cream on top of the cone, and this helps us with our division. We are going to put the ice cream inside the freezer, and we're going to put the ice cream cone outside. And that's the division that I just did mentally over here, but you can actually use this method to help you really think about it. So I say 2 goes into 9, 4 whole times, which is 8. I subtract that and I have that 1 left over, so I write the 1/2. Because we write in this direction, this is our numerator, and this is our denominator, just like we have been doing when we've been doing division problems and reporting it as remainder. So we're going to work on this a lot in class, so you will get lots of practice with changing improper into mixed. Now going from mixed to improper, we sometimes call this the Texas method, because that's a way for us to remember to put a plus sign and a multiplication sign, just because TX for Texas. You start at the denominator, so we're going to start right here, and we're going to do exactly what the symbol tells us. So it tells us 2 times 4, which I know is 8, and then I take that answer and add whatever it tells me, which is plus 1. So I have a total of 9 in the numerator, and I keep the denominator the same. So when I look at my steps, I started at the denominator, I multiply the denominator times the whole number. Then once I get that product, I add the numerator to it, and that becomes my new numerator. You're going to say what?
And this becomes the numerator in our improper fraction. So it is our new numerator.
And then you keep the denominator the same. The denominator does not change. All right, on the student side, we want you to try to change 2 improper fractions into mixed numbers and 2 mixed numbers into improper fractions. You can look back at your notes and try to do the methods, or you can draw visuals right now if you're not too sure about the methods. But we'll be doing lots of practice in class.